Part 2, The Looking Glass. Last episode was The Looking Glass, a comic book eye, a spyglass hidden in a kid's book series, all fiction or half fiction dressed up as fact. This one's different. This one has a real declassified case file, a man sitting in a chair in America describing a Soviet missile base he had never seen and was never told the location of. The US government paid for this for 23 years. Fact 1. Project Stargate was real. It started in 1977, ran out of Fort Meade by the Defense Intelligence Agency, working with the SRI International. The goal was simple to state and hard to believe. Test whether a person could describe a distance or a hidden location using nothing but their mind. No satellite feed, no source on the ground, just a person, a chair, and a target, whose location they were never given. The program ran for 23 years and was declassified in 1995. Fact 2. This wasn't some fringe backroom project nobody signed off on. It started because the US believed the Soviet Union was already spending heavily on psychic research and didn't want to be caught behind. Fact 3, and this is the case that matters most. Remote viewer Pat Price was handed nothing but a set of coordinates. From that alone, he described the secret Soviet missile installation in Siberia, the layout, the cranes, the silos, the security perimeter, and it was later checked against independent intelligence. That's not a ghost story, that's a name, a date, and a declassified transcript. Here's where it stops being simple. For every Pat Price level success, there's a session like the one from May 1984, where a remote viewer was given coordinates and asked to describe the target. That target turned out to be Mars, 1 million years in the past. He reported structures, pyramids, weather patterns. Same program, same methodology, wildly different credibility, and there was more stranger things than that afoot at Fort Meade before the program ever wrapped up. So why did the program run for 23 years? Because every so often, not reliably, not on demand, it produces something that lined up with reality, closely enough that nobody in charge wanted to be the one to cancel it and be proven wrong. The program wasn't shut down because someone proved it was fake. It shut down in 1995 because after 2 decades it still hadn't produced a teachable, repeatable method. An intelligence agency doesn't need occasionally right, it needs reliably right. Stargate never crossed that line. Not because it was debunked, but because it was never consistent enough to justify its own budget. Now compare that to episode 1, The Looking Glass Mythology, not the real airborne command post. The conspiracy version promises certainty, a machine that shows you the actual future cleanly on the screen. Stargate is the opposite, it's real, it's declassified, it has a name, case officers are named psychics. And it's messy, sometimes Siberia, sometimes Martian pyramids, no clean output, no demo reel. Which means the myth everyone repeats, Looking Glass, isn't the one with the actual paper trail. The one with the paper trail is the story nobody wants to tell. Because it doesn't hand you a clean answer. It hands you a coin flip with a slight lean towards heads. 23 years, one real Soviet missile base accurately described, one session that ended up on Mars. We keep reaching for the version of this story that has a screen and a control room, Looking Glass, the Eye of Agamotto, a spyglass with a symbol carved in it. Because a clean machine is easier to believe than a declassified file full of maybes. Next episode we go back further, before Stargate, before the Cold War even started funding any of this. We look at the early research into precognition and remote perception that pushed the US to build a program like this in the first place.